Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our New York studio. I'm Chris Taylor. Pakistan has once again stepped into the international spotlight as United States President Donald Trump announced that the next round of talks with Iran will be held in Islamabad. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump confirmed that U.S. representatives, including Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, will participate in the negotiations. He stated that Washington is close to reaching a deal and has offered Iran what he described as a fair proposal, while also warning of consequences if the offer is rejected. Diplomatic sources indicate that the U.S. delegation will arrive in phases, with Iran's negotiating team also expected in Islamabad today. Meanwhile, Iran's ambassador to Pakistan, Reza Amiri Moghadam, has strongly rejected claims of diplomacy under a naval blockade. In a statement, the envoy said that diplomacy cannot be pursued while international laws are violated, blockades are tightened, and threats of war crimes are issued. He described such conditions as unacceptable and warned that as long as the naval blockade continues, tensions and security risks in the region will persist. The situation has further escalated in the Gulf of Oman, where the United States has seized an Iranian commercial vessel. Video footage released by U.S. Central Command shows a naval operation involving warning messages and gunfire directed toward the ship. President Trump stated that the Iranian-flagged cargo vessel, identified as Tosca, was intercepted after failing to comply with warnings during a U.S. naval blockade, after which U.S. forces took control. Iran's military has condemned the move as armed piracy, warning of a swift response, and stating that the seizure violates the ceasefire and constitutes maritime robbery. Iran's Khatam al-Anbiya central headquarters has also accused the United States of breaching the ceasefire. According to Iranian media, Colonel Ebrahim Zolfagari described the U.S. action as open aggression and maritime piracy. He claimed that U.S. forces fired on an Iranian commercial ship, disabled its navigation system, and deployed armed Marines in an attempt to seize control. Iranian officials have warned that a response will follow soon, raising fears of further escalation in already tense waters. Iran's first vice president, Mohammad Reza Aref, has issued a stark warning regarding the security of the Strait of Hormuz. In a statement posted on X, Aref said that restricting Iran's oil exports while expecting security for others is unacceptable. He emphasized that the choice is clear, either a free oil market for all or significant costs for everyone. He added that stability in global fuel prices depends on a guaranteed and lasting end to economic and military pressure against Iran and its allies. We now go to Islamabad, where our correspondent Sarah William is following developments on the upcoming talks.
Tensions remain high here in the capital as Pakistan prepares to host critical negotiations between the United States and Iran. Diplomatic activity has intensified, with officials confirming that both delegations are expected to arrive in phases under tight security arrangements. The government is positioning Islamabad as a neutral ground for dialogue, emphasizing its role in promoting regional stability. Analysts say the success of these talks could significantly influence not only regional security, but also global energy markets. However, uncertainty remains, as strong rhetoric from both Washington and Tehran continues to cast a shadow over the negotiations.
Many thanks, Sarah, for that update. In another development, the spiritual leader of Catholics worldwide, Pope Leo, has once again called for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. Addressing world leaders, the Pope urged a return to negotiations, warning that war only deepens conflicts. He stressed that the lives of Iranian civilians are at risk, describing the situation as not just a legal matter, but a moral responsibility. He called on global leaders to stop violence and pursue dialogue, cautioning that instability in the Middle East is fueling broader economic, energy, and humanitarian challenges. Finally, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has held separate telephone conversations with his counterparts in Egypt and Canada. According to the Foreign Office, discussions focused on the evolving regional situation, with both sides expressing best wishes for the success of the Iran-United States talks. In a separate call, Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand reaffirmed Canada's support for Pakistan's diplomatic efforts aimed at promoting regional stability. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.